So I wanted to do a couple of what can Adam complain about. So
All right.
I wanted to focus on technology since we're a tech site. So
Sure.
sure. So let's start. First topic: electric cars.
Well, electric cars sound awesome, except for when you find out the range is 44 miles, it's insane. I mean, even the new Prius, and I think there's a new all-electric Prius that's supposed to be out in like 2011, and they talk about all the technology and what it'll do and how it'll completely charge in 3 hours, running off household currency and all that kind of stuff, or current, I should say. And then you go, oh, what's the range? And I go, 18 feet. As far as it'll roll. Is your driveway on a slope? Because you can definitely get to the mailbox. And it's like, why don't we have more range than this? But let me go on a quick jag here, Jason, if you will.
Of course.
And I'm not sure whether to look at the monitor, because I feel like now I'm looking at you, or look at the camera, but I'll go back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine.
Here's the thing. I was talking about this to someone the other day. Everyone thinks I'm some sort of right-wing maniac, like, oh man, I just came from Charlton Heston's gravesite where I lit a Sabbath candle. I'm not. I'm a pragmatist. I really am. And we just had like 35 coal miners die in a hole in the ground, right? Now just dig this, all you fucking tree huggers. Where's our nuclear power? Here's the thing we could be on, and I mean it. Tell me if I'm insane. We could have clean nuclear power, and we could have cars that were electric 10 years from now. So just dig this. The battery technology in electric cars is growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, it really, 5 years ago, wasn't even viable. In the next 2 years, every major car manufacturer will have an electric car. Now, maybe the Volt has a 90-mile radius range. But at a certain point, 5 years from now, that'll be up to 150 miles. And 10 years from now, it'll be 300 or 400 miles, right? I'm looking at you now.
Yes.
So what we need to do is we need to build some nuclear power plants. France does it. Your beloved fucking France does it. They figured out how to do it. We should be much further along in our technological understanding of nuclear power plants. But because Charlie Sheen fucking chained himself to a bulldozer in 1976, we're nowhere. We should build. I wish Barack Obama would do this. Hey, it's 2010. In the next 10 years, we're going to build a whole network of nuclear power plants. And in the next 10 years, we're going to kick ass on battery technology. Then, in 2020, we're going to have a shitload of electric cars and a shitload of electricity, and every man, woman, and child is going to come home at the end of the day, plug their car in the wall. There'll be no smokestacks going up in the sky. There'll be no more holes in the ground with guys from Kentucky being buried alive, and we'll be done. We haven't had anyone die on this soil from a nuclear power plant, have we? How many people have died coal mining in the last 30 years versus nuclear power plants? And even when you get out of these shitholes like Russia, they had Chernobyl. That's it. The rest of Europe has them. They work. They're effective. Why can't we do this? And here's the last one. I always argue about this. You take like a battleship. You take that battleship and it's in service for 30 years, or an aircraft carrier, 30 years of service. That thing steams around the globe 250 times. Do you know how much diesel fuel that fucking thing would go through? Millions and millions of barrels of diesel fuel it would take to steer that or steam that battleship around the world. Instead, they're nuclear. So they don't do anything, just a little vapor going up in the air instead of just bilging smoke, diesel smoke into the air. So all you fucking tree huggers from San Francisco especially, what do you want? You want to go through billions of barrels? You want the whole fleet to run off of diesel fuel? No. Here's what you want. You want an alternative. You want to power everything with fucking pixie dust. So you tell me, how do we get the aircraft carrier around the world? Tell me. You have any answers? No, of course you don't. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. And
Thank
they have
you.
nuclear subs too.
Yes.
What's the problem with that? Subs are nuclear. Why don't they make battleships nuclear?
we're way the fuck behind in this. Think about if all those assholes from the 70s who are wrong about everything, all those fucking guys that bought into the no nukes and the crying Indians and all those asswipes, imagine if they just stood aside and we had some infrastructure and we had the nuclear power plants and we were up with Europe as far as the technology went, we'd be in the catbird seat. All electric cars, all nuclear power, no more coal mines, no more OPEC, no more double-hulled tankers coming in from the axis of evil countries.
Exactly.
Done. 10
Exactly.
years. Done. Jesus fuck. Why do I have to think all this shit? Why aren't we doing this? All right, sorry. Next one.